Point number one, for whom is Salatul Eid valid? As already mentioned by the Khatib, it is valid for every single man and woman, young and old, even menstruating women. So every man, every child, every woman should proceed to pray Salatul Eid to the Masjid, to the Musallas in their areas, even menstruating women. This makes it look, in fact it raises the level of this Salah to obligatory Salah. Rasulullah said that everybody should proceed to pray this Salah. This is number one. Number two, the preparation for Salatul Eid. Since Rasulullah has already mentioned that Jum'ah is Eid, the preparation for Salatul Eid would be the same as the preparation for Jum'ah, which means taking a ghusl, perfuming yourself, wearing clean, tidy, nice clothes. And we come to clothes on Yawm al-Eid. So everything you do for the preparation of Jum'ah, you should do it for Salatul Eid. But when do we start the preparation for Salatul Eid? The preparation for Salatul Eid should start with Salatul Fajr. Which means that you should, what people do is, as I mentioned, you will look at the newspapers, they will look at the newspaper and they see, Salatul Eid 6:30. So they'll wake up at 6 o'clock and start the preparation for Salatul Eid. You will forget about your Fard Salah, Salatul Fajr. So you have to wake up for Salatul Fajr. This is Fard upon you. Salatul Eid is obligatory, but even if you missed it for any reason, any good reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may forgive you. But if you missed your Salatul Fajr, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, inshallah, start the preparations for Salatul Eid by waking up for Salatul Fajr. So all of you should set the alarms for Salatul Fajr, inshallah. As I mentioned, wearing the clothes, new and tidy clothes. Why I want to mention this point separately is that many of us, we will save our new clothes for the parties later on in the day. Whereas Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to wear his best clothes for Salatul Eid. So whichever jalabiya, whichever shalwar kameez, whatever you have gotten stitched for the day of Eid, select the best one to wear for Salatul Eid, inshallah. This is very important. And for the sisters, it is very important that you follow the etiquettes of hijab. Salatul Eid does not mean that you wear your pink, orange, red and blue, whatever you want, and you come there all perfumed and all set up to show off. No. The most preferable color for the sisters is black. So whatever you want to wear inside your new clothes, you may. But on top, cover yourself. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam advised the sisters who had an extra jilbab to give one jilbab to the sister who does not have it. So hijab is very, very important, other than Eid and on the day of Eid as well. As the Khatib mentioned, eating on the day of Eid. Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu reports, كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يغدو يوم الفطر حتى يأكل تمرات ويأكلهن بطرا. That Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم would not go out on Eid al-Fitr until he had eaten an odd number of days. Eid al-Fitr is different than Eid al-Adha. So do not mix them. Eid al-Adha, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would wait for the meat from the animal to come so that he can eat it. Whereas Eid al-Fitr, the fasting is over, Ramadan is over. So you have, your actions should be other than what was what was in Ramadan, which means that in Ramadan you would abstain, but here you should eat. So eat 3 days, 5 days, 1 day, and then proceed and go out of the masjid, out of your house. Going out, this is point number 4, going out to the musalla. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu narrated Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to proceed to the musalla. Musalla is different than the masjid. Musalla is an open area where Salatul Eid is prayed. He used to go out to the musalla on the days of Eid. The importance of going out to the musalla, you can measure the importance by the fact that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that one prayer in my masjid, Masjid al-Haram, is better than 1,000 in any other masjid, except one prayer in my masjid is better than 1,000 in any other masjid except Masjid al-Haram. And despite this, he would still go out to the musalla. So even though we're going to have Salatul Eid here, we've organized Salatul Eid here, mashallah, we've been trying for many years to have the khutbah in English. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us an opportunity now to have the khutbah in English and have the Salatul Eid over here. The sunnah is, the advice to the Muslims is to proceed to the musalla if you can, inshallah ta'ala. But for all of you who come here to learn, would like to learn and understand the khutbatul Eid, are most welcome to come here to this masjid, inshallah. Going out to the musalla, the second part is taking different routes while going and coming back from the musalla. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu says, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا خرج يوم العيد في طريق رجع في غيره. That if Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam took one route to go to the masjid, to the musalla, he would come back from another route. So whether you're going, taking your car or you're walking, inshallah, definitely every masjid, every musalla has 2 routes. Try to take one when you're going, and when you're coming back, take another. This would be following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and a rewardable act, even just going and coming back. Number 5, takbirat. It is sunnah to pronounce the takbirat. The takbirat can be made in many different forms, but the most authentic is the one that our Shaykh here told us in the khutbah, that it has been recorded with a sahih chain by Abdul Razak from Salman and from Umar and Ibn Masud. And that is, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Wallahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Walillahi alhamd. These are the takbirat. And women can also pronounce takbirat in a low voice, which should not be audible to the men in their surroundings. So the women are also allowed and advised to pronounce the takbirat, but keep your voices low, inshallah. And also, the takbirat will be pronounced throughout the day, starting from the time that the Shaykh has mentioned, after the sunset, the night of Yawm al-Eid. Starting from that time onwards, you will hear the imams just, initiating. He'll go, he'll say Allahu Akbar, and everybody starts Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And you should say that in the entire day. As the Shaykh mentioned, that the men especially should pronounce the takbirat when they're going out to the marketplace, they're going out to meet people, whenever they're traveling, so that others also listen and glorify and are reminded and glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is all day for the 3 days of Eid. And it is not isolated to after every salah, which means that you will see that after every first salah, you will hear the Imam saying Allahu Akbar, and you start, and Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah, Walillahi alhamd, and all of you just walk up and go. No, you can continue saying the takbirat when you're leaving the masajid as well, and the entire day. When you reach the musalla, when you reach the musalla for Salatul Eid, there are no rak'ahs, no tahiyatul musalla, to be prayed in the musalla. You go there and you sit down pronouncing your takbirat until the imam stands up for Salatul Eid. So there is no tahiyatul musalla. But if the Eid prayers are being organized in a masjid, the respect for the masjid is that you pray tahiyatul masjid. So when you come to this masjid or you go to any other masjid, even to attend Salatul Eid, because you're entering a masjid and the place, the respect for the place is to pray the 2 rak'ah, you pray tahiyatul masjid. So there is a difference. Musalla, no rak'ah. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, inna al-nabiyyu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam kharaja yawm al-Fitr fasalli rak'atayn lam yasalli qablaha wala ba'daha. That he did not pray anything before that and he did not pray anything after that. So you wait for the salah. Now, the feature of the day, Salatul Eid. The imam will get up for Salatul Eid. There is no iqamah. He will just stand up for Salatul Eid. You will all organize yourself as you organize yourself for any other salah. Which means that as Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam commanded you to do, tarasu wa'atadilu سوي صفوفكم قدم مع قدم منكب مع منكب, so that the shaitan may not enter. So you press the shoulders against the shoulders of your brother, and then you press the feet against the feet of your brother, and this way Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that a miracle will happen. Love for your brother on both the sides will evolve in your heart. While he said that stand like this so that hatred does not enter your heart. So if you try to move away from your brother, there is a disease that shaitan is trying to instill into your heart. So the same way you stand for Salatul Eid, inshallah. Now, the imam will say the takbir al-tahrima, Allahu Akbar, and he will fold his arms. After that, he will say al-takbirat. This is Salat al-Eid, just 7 takbirat in the first rak'ah. He will say Allahu Akbar, he will fold his arms, and then he will say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, 7 more times in the first rak'ah. In the second rak'ah, after he that makes it a total of 8. But first one is the takbir al-tahrima, which means that you're starting the prayer. And from that one you start counting 7. Of course it is the responsibility of the imam to count his, and then he will say the Fatiha, he will say the surah, go into the ruku, come out of the sujood, and he'll stand up again. He will stand up again, and then he will say Allahu Akbar for standing up, and then 5 more times he will repeat the takbirat. Now, the important issue is that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and I'll give you the issue after I give you this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that every time he saw somebody performing an act, any act, he would ask them, where did you learn about this act? And if the answer was that I saw my forefathers doing it, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, stop. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not revealed this action of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to teach the ummah, then he would ask, where did you learn this? They said, we saw our forefathers doing it. He said, stop. Stop doing this action. So the qualification of any action to be a sunnah, to be ibadah, is that it should be from the actions and from the commands and from the affirmations of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and not my father, your father, our forefathers. We respect them. Do not start asking a question that what about my forefathers? Are they going to hell? Iyazu billah, astaghfirullah. Do not say these words, because we are not saying that. we are saying that the knowledge has reached them and they acted upon a certain knowledge. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the opportunity that you are getting knowledge supported by authentic ahadith, and you have the chance, you have the opportunity to follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So say Alhamdulillah, and then follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? For raising, for rafa yadayn. What is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? For raising, for rafa yadayn. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would raise his arms for takbir al-tahrima and fold his arms. There is no report, and if there is one inshallah that you know of, bring it to us. I would like to learn it, I would like to practice it, and I would like to preach it. So, there is no report, except that Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would do rafa yadayn for takbir al-tahrima, and then he would fold his arms, and the takbirat that he pronounced, the 7 takbirat that he pronounced, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, he did not do rafa yadayn. He did not raise his arms. So, he did not go Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. He did not. This is our knowledge. This is what we've learned from the scholars. So, there is no raising of your arms for the takbirat. The 7 takbirat in the first rak'ah and the 5 takbirat in the second rak'ah. Here, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha in the same hadith tells us that he did not raise his arms for rafa yadayn. He did not do rafa yadayn for these takbirat, except that when he was going into ruku, he raised his arms, he did rafa yadayn, went into ruku, came out of ruku and did rafa yadayn again in the same hadith. So for any one of you who so far has been looking for, the Shaykh rafa yadayn, where is it in the hadith? It is in the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, where she is explaining the actions of Salatul Eid, inshallah. So this way we've learned one more hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. During the takbirat, there is nothing to be recited. There is no surah, no dua, no nothing. Allahu Akbar, takbir al-tahrima. Silence. Both Shaykh and you. Silence. Allahu Akbar, silence. So if anybody, for the, for ajr and for everything has told you that between the 7 takbirat, there are du'as, specific du'as, ask them. Where in the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is it mentioned? Bring it to me, I will take it to, less knowledgeable people, inshallah we'll share it to them. For everybody who learns the sunnah from you, the sadaqah, al-jariyah, starts from there for you. So, give them an opportunity to start a sadaqah al-jariyah. No dua, no surah between the takbirat. And inshallah this will bring us to the khutbatul Eid. And it is right after the salah. He will finish, he will say taslim, and he will get up to the minbar to start the khutbah. The attending of the khutbah is optional. It is optional. Abdullah Ibn Sayyid said that I attended the Eid prayer with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When he accomplished the prayer, he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that after he finished the prayer, he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Inna nakhtubu faman ahabba an yajlisa lil khutbati fal yajlis wa man ahabba an yadhhaba fal yadhhab. This is that we will be delivering a khutbah. Whoever wishes to stay for the khutbah may stay, and whoever would like to leave may leave. So do not scorn at people who are leaving after Salatul Eid. It is an option. If you stay, obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you for the time you're spending to learn the deen or in the majlis of the angels and the Muslimin. But if you decided to go, it is perfectly alright according to the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, from the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Why is it important to say this? Is because, again, back in our countries and worldwide, there is a problem that if a person wants to leave, then either he is conned at or he is made to sit down. So let them go who wishes to go, inshallah. And after the khutbah, this brings us to the end of our session. After the khutbah, of course, when he makes a dua and everything, and he says, Taqabballahu minna wa minkum, and he gets down, we can all stand up and start congratulating each other. And from one of the many ways to congratulate, Mabrook, Eid Mubarak, and whatever. But the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam are, Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum wa minni wa minka. That may Allah accept from you, from me, and from you, or from us and from you. Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum, minni wa minna. May Allah accept it from us and from you. What is this dua? This dua is that not only that Allah accepts what you've just done, but may Allah accept all your ibadat in Ramadan. Inshallah. So, after this you may proceed inshallah and you start your day of Eid, and advise to everybody, to myself first, Yawm al-Eid, if you want to convert this entire day, on this entire event into ibadat, then you must follow and you must abstain from doing something which is forbidden in Islam. This does not mean that you start celebrating. You should not start imitating the kuffar. This is the principle of Islam. That in Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, do not be like the mushrikeen, the kuffar, the Jews and the Christians, in any of your actions. So even though it's a celebration, the celebration, it has to be celebrated according to the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has ordered you to do, and abstain from which he has forbidden. That takes us to one thing at least, which is the most common. That as soon as a celebration comes, all the hijab goes. The hijab of speech, the hijab of eyes, the hijab of actions, it all goes. So we have mixed parties where women and men are all sitting together, and you're celebrating Eid, a Muslim event. Ya akhwan, men and women, the mixing of men and women is haram. A fatwa given by every single scholar of Islam. So, if you're tempted to go out together to a party, make sure that that party, may it be an Eid party, may it be a wedding, may it be an iftar party, may it be any gathering, ensure from your side that the sisters have their area, their space, their privacy, and you have yours. And this way, inshallah, the sisters can adorn themselves the way they would like to, inshallah ta'ala, as long as they are covered. And then when they go, of course there are many fatwas for this as well, and we're not going to get into that. However, they give them their privacy. You like your wife, leave the other's wife to themselves. Inshallah ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'ana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Are there any questions, inshallah, pertaining to what I've spoken?
Regarding the Rafa, everyone goes, even the menstruating women go for the salah. They don't.
Jazakallah khair. The menstruating woman, the brother has reminded me that the menstruating woman should go to the masjid, but when they stand up for prayers, they move away and go to the side and give the space for prayers to the people who are, the women who are not menstruating. Inshallah.
Maulana, I'm still confused, sorry to interrupt you, regarding the Rafa then. First, after you said, after first Allahu Akbar when we say, okay, once we close our hand, okay, after that we don't need to open?
Yeah. The brother is asking to clarify the matter of Rafa'adain. So when I say, when the Imam says Allahu Akbar and you all do Rafa'adain for Takbir al-Tahrima and then you fold your arms, yes, after that for all the takbirat, you do not raise your arms. You keep your arms folded, but in your heart, you repeat Allahu Akbar.
We have to
You repeat Allahu Akbar. You repeat Allahu Akbar after the Imam. So the Imam says Allahu Akbar, in your heart you say Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. This way you repeat that 7 times, and after that you become silent and let him recite, except of course Surah Al-Fatiha.
Thank you.
After congratulate mother, what is the sunnah? Some people embrace, some people say shake hands.
Okay, the brother is asking if there is a sunnah of the body action, the physical action of congratulating each other for Eid. So after you say Mabrook, some people shake hands, some people embrace, some will embrace 1, 2, and 3. Some will just do once, some will do twice, some will kiss, and some. All of these are traditions, and none of them go towards bid'ah, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not say meet like this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would shake hands with someone, would stand up and go and embrace somebody else, would embrace somebody once, and if the person wants to embrace twice, then Wallahu alam. But twice or thrice. But the custom, the tradition has become a religion in our countries, where if you did not embrace 3 times, then they would think that there is a problem. That either there is something in your heart against this brother. So if you make that action, a sunnah, then it is better for you that if you go to a country or if you go in an area where you know that there is this problem, inshallah ta'ala, embrace them once and say, Alhamdulillah, and it's not necessary. Educate them. Take this as an opportunity for education. Any other questions?
If you miss the Imam's takbir, then you have to repeat it?
Now, as I said, that the takbirat of the Imam should be repeated.
If you miss it.
If we miss.
No. If you miss it, you miss it. If you came at the time when he was saying his, say, 5th or 6th takbir, you just come and say Allahu Akbar, you stand over there, and when you hear him say Allahu Akbar, you say Allahu Akbar. But if you have missed all of the 7 and you have come when the prayer has started, you do not have to say takbir. Inshallah. In traveling, you may miss your fard as well. So, do not be so worried about. Be more worried about your fard salah if you're traveling, and you have the opportunity to make your salah while sitting in the car, in the aircraft, or stop by and make your fard salah. Alhamdulillah. That should be your major concern. That whilst you're traveling, your first salah should not be missed intentionally. You make qasr, you do whatever you have to, but you have to catch those salah. Salat al-Eid, inshallah, there's no problem. Because you cannot make Salat al-Eid individually.
For those who miss the Eid Salah, it is also known from the Sahaba that they pray the next day. And also they can pray 2 rakah. Yes. So that one hadith on ignorance at this moment. Inshallah.
Sorry, brother, regarding the menstruating woman, we have been able to understand that this is a bigger impurity, It's not a smaller, impurity. It's an impurity, isn't it? Menstruating. So normally, under normal circumstances, they are not allowed to enter the masjid, isn't it? We are able to understand. So is it only for the Eid namaz, or in the Jummah also they can come when they are menstruating?
See, the question is that can menstruating women enter the masajid for Jum'ah or any other time? There is a difference of opinion. Some of the scholars say that they cannot because they are impure, and some of the scholars say that they can. The scholars of the Salaf
Are an agreement that they can.
No, there is actually there is a hadith Sunan al-Dawud where the Prophet has prohibited entering the masjid. But inshallah we'll look this up in more detail and clarify this inshallah next time. Because neither of us at this moment is exactly aware of what is the proof for either of it. I mean, we have read this of course, but we don't recall it now. So inshallah we'll look this up and we'll let you know next week.
Just to clarify, we have learned that they can come to the musallas,
But they are not to enter the prayer place.
That is in the musallas of the Eid,
Yes.
the open ground, they can come, but they should stay away from the musalla.
Even in the masjid, that etiquette should be followed, inshallah.
They stay away
But what is the evidence that the scholars are allowing to enter I remember there is one hadith where the Prophet ﷺ asked Aisha to fetch something from the masjid, and she said that I'm sweating. So he said it's not in your hands. So she fetched it from the masjid. But there are a lot of dalail about this. Scholars say going for a small period or passing through is allowed. So we'll look it up inshallah in more detail, and then we'll clarify with the evidences inshallah.
We'll take this as a responsibility, inshallah. I will send you a mail on our masjid community and you can spread it further, inshallah.
From getting up from the ruku, after making Sami Allah, and making Rafu Yadi, we should close our hands or leave it?
Inshallah, you may close them and you may leave them.
Both are